We're live. Oh wait, you forgot the music, dude.
Welcome to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing, teaching you how to promote, market, and make fat stacks for your legal practice. Here on Legal Talk Network.
Conrad, welcome to Office Hours. Sorry that I made us late today for all of those who are expecting us at 1 p.m. Eastern.
I know the doors were. I heard complaints, man.
Lots of complaints, lots of bad DMs. That's what you do now. You DM.
Lots of questions delayed.
So many questions.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I got some questions for you.
All right, I got one topic.
Is it legal to do lead generation in the state of Colorado?
Wow! Brought to you by who posted that this morning?
You sent it to me.
I did, and now I've forgotten who posted it.
I checked. Well, you put it in. I'll check my text messages here. It was Kevin Cheney.
Kevin Cheney, thank you for pushing this out. Now, very bluntly, I'm gonna take it a contrarian position to what we typically do.
I love a contrarian.
I typically, and I know I'm a guest of many state bars, Iowa and DC upcoming, but I typically have mocked is not the right word. I have typically been disappointed with the state bar's implementation of their attempts to protect consumers from the horrors of working with lawyers.
Same.
And so I want to congratulate and pander. We need a pander sound. We pander a lot. I just listened to our interview with Chad of Dudley DeBosier. Yes. Chad Dudley of Dudley DeBosier. There's unpandering. I bungled his name. I literally told him the very first thing was that he was very good looking. I literally said that, and
you did. You did. I recall.
We need a mocking pandering sound. Anyway, I'm going to pander to the State Bar of Colorado because, and I will throw Brian Glass into the mix too. He will also congratulate the State Bar of Colorado. The lead generation companies have been overpromising, overselling, and really misleading consumers as to what they can expect from attorneys. Apparently, Guy is getting taken away right now.
No,
that was a kid. I know that was a kid
sound. That's the regulatory police sound.
Oh, that was your regulatory police sound. Okay.
Yes. Or we got this one.
But good. No, that sounds like an umbrella falling down out of the sky.
The long slide, they call it.
The slide whistle. But, I do think lawyers have a tarnished reputation. And I do think ads that talk about getting hundreds of thousands of dollars for your non-accident tarnishes that reputation further. So hats off to the State Bar of Colorado.
Yeah. Lots of thoughts. I gotta say, I'm still a licensed non-practicing attorney. I think they need to have, someone's got to do some kind of independent review of what's going on with the legal profession. They have lost sight of the purpose for why they exist. Many of these law firms are marketing companies. There's a lot of, so again, you put yourself in the client's position. You respond to a billboard lawyer that's been branding to you, or you do a lead gen or whatever. You join one of these your case gets posted on one of these referral networks, and people don't get the impact of all of the different hands on their cases as they travel through this quagmire of lead generation and marketing companies and quasi law firm marketing companies. And so there's a post on LinkedIn about this, but by the time it gets there and you're like, oh yeah, the referring attorney is asking for a 50% fee. There's a bunch of lawyers that are like, I'm not working that case. And unfortunately, a lot of times the people who take those cases are the ones who have a very high cost per client threshold and they're just trying to settle it. And they're not actually working the case. They're not actually like doing the work. And so it's impacting the overall value of that client's recovery. And it's just bad everywhere. So step in the right direction, but it's a mess out there.
All right. Yeah. Hats off to Colorado. I would like to see more states follow suit.
Here's one for you. This is more general. It's another regulatory thing. And I think I saw this one, but I don't know if it was under my radar or I didn't really fully think about it, but it re-popped up in a feed. And I think this was back in 2025, but the state of New York has, I believe it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, New Yorkers, but I believe they have a law on the books that says
they will.
You must well, that's not lead gen. You must disclose if you use AI to depict a human being in an advertisement.
Are you suggesting that the recent politician whose press photograph was enhanced to make him look like he works out all the time?
Is that an ad?
Yeah. No, I'll find it. That was today.
I have this looming suspicion.
Yeah, that we're all going to look better.
That the class action law firms are just chomping at the bit to take on AI. I mean, they're already taking on social media, and we'll see. Because did you ever read Vulnerable World Hypothesis? No, you didn't.
I love so.
You ever read anything, Conrad?
Listen, I feel like I'm pretty well read and intelligent, and I always sit next to you, and I'm like, I need to read more. And then instead, I go outside and mow the lawn.
Well, the short version of this is that if you think about technology as pulling different balls out of a vase, sometimes you're going to pull out a black ball. And yeah, there's a lot more to it than this, but AI is a type of thing that fits this paradigm because it is so accessible. Everybody is out there vibe coding and AI imaging and AI this and AI that and doing all this, AI legal research and all this stuff. And it's happening so fast and it's so accessible that it's like gumming up the works. It's because again, like a nuclear weapon, difficult to build, right? It's not accessible. It's a potentially very dangerous technology, but it's very inaccessible. And in fact, the world has been working to try to mitigate the accessibility of it. AI is the opposite. Now, AI might not have the devastating effect, except, you see this Mythos stuff and you're like, oh yeah, they identified all these security vulnerabilities, and that's at enterprise level. Think about all the people that are around there just like hacking together their websites and their CRM, vibe coded CRM products and this and that. And again, I get it. I think you're going to see more and more of it. And I think that they're going to figure out the security thing. But right now, gosh, it feels vulnerable. Anyway, it's the end of my rant.
I think I would like to enroll in a college class taught by you called Tabula Rasa. It is a blank slate of Guy's pontifications.
Well, here's my question. Here's my question to you. How many New York law firms that are creating AI social media ads have a disclaimer that say this is created by AI?
0.
Right. So are they all breaking the law?
Let me ask you this. We recommended this. We're doing this for a bunch of clients. One of the things I hate seeing, and I just saw this the other day, I can't remember what prospect it was the new attorney on the website with picture coming or profile coming, and it's like that. It's terrible. You can very easily now generate a branded, with Smith & Jones Law Firm in the background or in their conference room, picture of Mary, who just started at the law firm or starting next month, looking great. You can turn that into video content, right, with Mary yammering, and it's not really Mary, and it is indistinguishable from anything. I mean, this is very doable.
Conrad, you just reminded me of something that we
we're not
wanted
really
to
here.
discuss. Just like this, right?
There you go. Oh, Jesus.
I'm Mama and I'm an AI. I was built by a team of elite lawyers who trained at Harvard Law and other top law schools with one goal: give your family more care, attention, and answers than you would find anywhere else. Here's what working with me looks like. It starts with a short form that you'll find right here on.
Well,
Anyone else wondering if the people behind Mama Bear are middle-aged white dudes? Anyone else wondering? Oh, there you go. And James even has the red tie. Please give me a bigger stereotype.
So, you can do it. You can build AI images, you can build AI avatars. I hope you put the disclaimers in there that you need.
Listen, I was about to say flippantly, I don't know a lot about marketing, but I actually do know a lot about marketing. If your motif is a black woman, maybe don't put your pictures on the homepage. And you look like me, maybe don't put your picture on the homepage.
The other thing that you got me thinking about, this actually came up in another conversation, but what do you think? I don't want to gotcha, so I'm just going to tell you straight up. So Google, the question I was going to ask is, do you think it's a good idea to use AI content in your Google business profile? And I'm going to, and you can think about it, and I'm going to give you a potential concern. Google has a technology called SynthID that is designed to try to distinguish between real imagery and AI generated imagery. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not even saying that they're using it for the purpose that I'm about to describe. But if you think about Google business profiles and the intent of Google Maps in general, it's really not designed to be a marketing tool for businesses. It is designed to be a reflection of the real world. And guess what? They might be thinking over there in Mountain View. All of this AI content, it doesn't really represent the food at the restaurants. It doesn't really represent the hotel experience. It doesn't really represent the real world. Maybe we use SynthID to demote businesses that are fake.
The new manual penalty.
Not even manual. SynthID can do it algorithmically.
So here's the question. I think until consumers care, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at Mama Bear. Like that is mad. Like that is, I mean, an extreme level of consumers don't care. They don't care. And I could be wrong, but I don't think.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm always like this, and we were just talking about this in a different context, but it's not even there's always going to be differences of opinions. The question is what percentage of all of the people take issue with it, and like what's their threshold critical mass for somebody, for the platform or whatever. Like we thought about this in fake review land, right? There's no incentive. People aren't not using Google because of it. But if a certain number did, right? If Google started seeing like, oh my gosh, the local search volumes are dropping through the floor, which they're not, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. Maybe Google makes a change there, but there's no pressure to do it and no one cares.
So I have not thought about this. I have not researched this. I am speaking 100% off the cuff. I think it's very possible. Remember that verified badge that every wannabe influencer just
bought,
loved themselves for buying? And remember that?
Yeah, remember it. It's going on right now.
It's shameless, but that would be a very good verified, right? Human, verified right. Human, not AI, right? Like, I think there's an argument to be made. Like, I actually want to know that what the president of the United States says is actually what the president of the United States says, even if he doesn't know what he's saying.
Do you want to know if he's playing football?
What do you mean? If he like if
That's his most recent
no,
AI
I didn't mean the
generator.
current president of the United States. I meant generically.
More relevant than the current
But
president.
no, I mean there's there's all this fact checking that goes on. There's Facebook's gone out of its way to note when things are demonstrably false in an attempt to make their content a little bit better. This could be one of those things that is recognized as demonstrably false, and therefore there's value in a synth ID. I think you could make that claim.
Yeah. Another question for you.
I got one for you too. I got two for you. But
Go ahead.
no, I got two. Keep going. You're on. Listen. I'm in Tabula Rasa 101, taught by Professor Tsakalakis.
I was trying to fill air. So did you?
Oh, here, no, here. You got this question this morning. I'm not going to name the person.
Go ahead.
And we're going to answer it quickly because otherwise it's self-serving. Hey, friends, hearing lots of good things about the event in August. I could sneak in another event. Do you guys have sponsors and booths or just attendee tickets?
We have sponsors and booths for our preferred companies and people that we like to work with.
Wait, no, because now you're saying that we don't like her.
No, I don't even know what this is from. So
this is on LinkedIn. So so let me answer this very carefully. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of people telling us that they should have a booth at the summit. We have a small number of people who have sponsored the show that we have this endorsed sponsor model there where we stand behind their companies. It is a exclusive in terms of market exclusive and vetted list, very short list of companies that are associated with the show. And that's it. We are otherwise not going to make a ton of money getting people to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to have a booth and a paid speaking engagement.
$250,000, Conrad.
$225,000.
I mean,
that was the most recent request that I got was $225,000 for a speaking.
$50,000 minimum.
I'm also doing that.
Okay.
I had no number.
Go ahead.
Well, sorry. Go ahead. No. This is completely. We're going all over. I'm bouncing all over the place.
Datos and Spark. I'm about to bounce into a totally different place, but
okay.
this is. I guess this is self-serving to the extent that it validates a lot of what you and I have been talking about. But let's share it anyway. Yep. Datos and Spark Toro, Rand Fishkin's shop, did a webinar, and they released. I think it's Datos's report, but I think that's co-marketed. But it is their Q1 2026 State of Search report.
You're going to share a graph in 3, 2.
Well, I wasn't, but now I'm going to because I was going to ask you a question.
I know.
But I'm going to share it now since you're already familiar. And where did it go? Oh, it's a PDF. So I'm going to have to find the PDF. I don't know if it's going to find it. PDF.
Right. Can
Sharing's hard.
Talk and look.
Sharing's hard. Well, the number that I'm looking for here. Here we go. Slides and PDFs. Oh, you have to upload it. This is no good. I don't like it. All right.
While you're working that through, I would like to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Self-servingly recommend that you listen to the most recent podcast for Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. Jonathan Hawkins' section during that was very enlightening regarding using money, regarding what he calls growth capital, using outside influence to accelerate the growth of your firm. Really, really good segment with Jonathan Hawkins. And then you can listen to me pander to Chad Dudley, telling him he is a very good-looking man.
Yes. Well, I don't know if I'm going to figure out how to do this. So I'm just going to give you. I'm just going to talk about it. Anyway, people should go check this out. Distribution of Google US desktop search clicks over time. And they're basically comparing year over year. Okay. Now, again, this is big data. This isn't limited to legal. And so this is what's going to be interesting is when we talk about this. I think it's an interesting thing. First of all, what percent of total clicks went to a paid ad and think about it year over year, what do you think it was in 2025? And then what do you think it is in 2026?
I'm going to 100% correctly answer your 2026 question.
Go ahead.
Get it right.
Go ahead.
It is greater than 2025.
It is greater than 2025. Great.
Nailed it.
Great job.
So good.
The number.
Watch how I dodged the question.
The number for 2026 ad clicks.
Yeah.
2.3% of all clicks went to ads.
For 2026?
Yep. 2025, 1.3. And so one, wow.
I was right.
You were right. You were totally right, which supports the fact, also supports. Well, here's what's interesting. So we'll just round here because we're not getting super mathy on office hours here. But January of 2025, 1.3% of clicks. March 2026, 2.3% of clicks. So call it a, not quite double, but almost double. Now think about this. It's still a very small percentage of the total clicks, a big picture. And Google reported in its Q1 shareholder reporting, that their ad revenue was up 15%. So I think it's a combination, you can think about what was impacting that. Cost per click is a factor in there. The number of clicks obviously is a factor in there, all that kind of stuff. But the thing that's interesting to me about this is in legal, in our research with Near Media, which I know we can't dive into because it's proprietary. Out of the user behavior testing that we've done, much bigger piece of the pie went to ads than 2%.
Yes, because of the intent,
right,
of the query.
100%. And again, yeah, go ahead.
Limited navigational,
mm-hmm.
right? Like essentially none. So it wasn't find this law firm; it was find a law firm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was transactional. And so this data goes way back, but the more transactional your query, the more likely you are to click on an ad. Meaning if I want to buy a coffee cup, I'm happy to click on the ad for the coffee cup. If I want to research how to make a coffee cup, probably not going to click on that ad. I'm going to look for organic.
That's right.
So the directive for the Near Media research was transactional. So it doesn't fully surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either, but you know what? The reason I bring this up is because people are they're skimming this stuff, they're glossing over this stuff, and so somebody is out there right now that read this and it's like, oh, only 2% of my audience goes to ads. Cut ads. What a waste.
Wrong. So I mean, like this is why it's important to have legal specific research. That I hate at the risk of talking about how amazing Guy and Conrad are. There's a reason that we connected with Near Media to do market research on how people select lawyers. Because I'll tell you this, guys, most of your agencies have never bothered to do this, and so they're using their historical knowledge, which is great,
or they're using reports like this.
Or they're using reports like this, right? And so you're not taking into account what's actually going on. The interesting thing, Guy, I've got the math insight on this is fascinating. It's a doubling of clicks going to ads, and yet Google's reporting a 15% increase in revenue. That means that very simplistic math, the marginal clicks that they have generated, which is doubling their clicks, have generated 15% of extra value, which means the only way you can do this, and this is where I get heated, is you're getting people to bid on terms that are not valuable,
will bid on terms at a lower cost per click.
I'm equating those two things.
Okay. You're getting, and that's yes, you're getting more clicks with a lower percentage of growth on the revenue side. So you have to assume that the median or average click that you're getting is lower than the historical average.
And not lower. It is actually mathematically, very simplistically, 85% less. So those clicks, those queries that Google is getting you to click on are 85% less valuable. And I listen, I'm just pontificating here. I do not have any data on this. So this is just stream of consciousness, and
Our
I will get
favorite
shot
kind.
if I go into Mountain View.
This is our favorite.
This is the obvious net result, the end result of PMAX.
Yeah.
Right. That is the which is why I hate it so much. And what I mean by that is when you hand the reins over to Google to decide what you're bidding on, and they are trying to spend as much of your money as possible, they are going to find things that are not necessarily very valuable and put clicks into that. And that is why I hate this product.
The other thing that there's another narrative that's been out there is that nobody's clicking on anything. It's zero click everything. And when they do click, Google's keeping them on Google, blah, blah, blah. Year over year, stable clicks to organic, non-Google owned results, meaning basically net over the course of the year, not a lot has changed. Now, as you mentioned, many of those organic clicks are navigational, right? So it's like, oh, I just want to go to YouTube. So I type YouTube into Google and I click on an organic YouTube result.
And then your kids will make fun of you. I can give you a data point of one where that is.
From what I understand, I listened to the webinar, so if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize. But I believe that Datos did a study, and they said like 40% of all clicks on Google are navigational.
I'll buy that.
Okay.
I mean,
but the narrative of that it's all zero click and nobody's clicking anymore. I think that there hasn't been a massive change, which I think that the AI everything people, the VCs, the tool makers, all the people in AI, the AI sycophants, the AI psychosis people, they've been
say it. The agencies that were SEO experts that are now all of a sudden GEO experts.
Well, thank you for bringing that one up.
Because we're feeding you what you guys want to hear.
Right. We're selling you what you want. You bought the psychosis, so here it is.
Here it is, man. Listen, I will tell you this, and I will not name the person.
Good for you.
You know what I'm going to say.
No, I don't.
Guy and I were in a room with a lot of attorneys and some agency people, one of whom gave a convincing talk on AI and later told us that he knew it was all bullshit and that he was feeding the audience what they wanted to hear. That happened.
Google AI mode visits in the US.
Did you see how Guy wouldn't? I couldn't drag him into that. He knows who I'm talking about.
February, we'll say January 2026. And again, this is AI mode only. So let's be clear. We're not saying this about all AI or anything. AI mode, which again, Google has very slow played it for the very reason that they're like, we don't want to lose ad revenue. But they did just recently add the AI mode button to the search box. AI mode, total visits, AI mode in the US, according to Datos research, January 2026, 0.08%. So less than 1%. Now, March 2026, 0.16%. So over 3 months, it's doubled, but it's still AI mode on Google, less than 1%, less than 0.5%.
And I would love to, I suspect, and I have no data on that. Actually, I have anecdotes, not data.
We love anecdotes here.
That the more transactional you get in your queries, the less AI centric you are. That's just human behavior. I can't prove that in any way other than telling you that our client who has received the most business through AI is a franchise lawyer, which to me is a very long purchase cycle.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, I think B2B, I think you see it. I mean, look, we see Claude and Open AI and Chat GPT showing up in our CRM. It's a B2B buying cycle, right? You're like looking for business growth services. And so longer cycle and deeper research and yada, yada, yada. Okay, one more from this study, and then we can move on to something else. This will be a fun one. Are you looking at this study?
No, I'm looking at the responses to the Colorado announcement from Kevin Chaney.
Oh, okay.
So, but sorry, keep going.
I want to quiz you on what you believe. This is just for fun. This isn't
okay. We'll cut this in post if I say something stupid.
Yeah. I don't think that.
Okay.
Well, I'll just, I don't think this is not, I'm not trying to stump you here.
He's
top
ambushing
domains visited from US desktop traditional search engines. So from Google to where are they clicking? Take a guess on the top domains for 2026, and I will tell you what they were in 26 and what they were in 25. So you can see the delta. Take a guess.
Top domains?
Yeah, so like websites that people are clicking from Google to.
Oh, Jesus.
I've
got YouTube.
Number one and number one in 25. Number one. So you're 1 for 1 both years, no change. Number one. So by the way, folks, Conrad and I talked about this on the podcast too. If you're not doing the YouTube thing, like you better learn about YouTube. A lot of eyeballs on YouTube.
I'm not going to cheat and look this up with Claude as we speak. I've got Facebook is somewhere in there.
So Facebook number 2 in 2025, number 4 in 2026. So you've got number 1 and number 2 from 25 and number 1 and number 4 from 2026.
Okay. So if I was 12 months ago, this tells you that my knowledge is dated by 12 months.
You're like ChatGPT.
I'm like ChatGPT, and it is not. By the way, the answer that I just went through my head is like it is not one of the AI LLMs.
Surprisingly, there is an AI LLM in the top 10.
Then it would be ChatGPT.
That's right. 2025, number 5 on the list. Huge in 2025. Now listen to this. Listen to this.
Hold on. I have a question on this before we move off this point. Mm-hmm. The reason I said it's not is because the only way it is through navigational search.
That's right.
That's the only thing that you could get. So that's why I threw it out. That's fascinating. Right. So dear listener, think about how dramatic that is. The only result you can get to in ChatGPT is for a navigational search.
So I will just, with one asterisk, there was a period of time that ChatGPT was getting indexed. ChatGPT stuff was getting indexed.
But that was a fuck up. Yeah. So that reinforces the extent to which Google is used navigationally.
I mean, most of these are navigational.
Okay. I don't want to say LinkedIn. I'm living in the
LinkedIn. Number 10 in 2025 and number 10 in 2026.
I feel like we're playing Family Feud.
I know. That's why I thought this would be fun. All right, you've done a good job.
Hold on. Major informational portals. Big
one that you should know because you're an SEO guy.
I was gonna say Yelp because that's shown up in the past, and I hate to say Yelp.
No Yelp, not big enough. What is
Nothing
like that. Nothing like that.
They lost their best SEO a while ago.
What's been super hot in GEO world? Because
I was gonna say Reddit or Wikipedia.
There you go, Reddit. You got it. Reddit number 3 in 2025, number 2 up to number 2 in 2026.
Wow.
That was not navigational, by the way. That's not
that's not navigational. That's fascinating.
Yes.
I wonder what on earth Reddit is doing to maintain that level of trust, algorithmic level of trust.
Well, they made a deal with Google at some point, but did that deal end? Are they still piping in all that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not up on that, but
I don't know that it didn't end, but there's still got to be a level of trust there.
But
just sharing a bunch of shittiness.
Well, see, here's my thing about it. It's not the quote unquote algorithmic trust is a proxy for the human trust, which is measured by click-through rate. Because
you're going with the circle, the self-reinforcing circle of trust.
Remember what's happening here. People are appending Reddit to their search queries and looking for Reddit because they think Reddit is like the best thing. It's like, oh, it's all real and people's experiences, and we know that it's AstroTurf. In fact, by the way, I don't want to say it. This will be breaking news for another time.
Wow.
There's a lot more. There's a lot of Reddit AstroTurfing going on in legal
by certain agencies.
Yes.
Okay.
By more agencies than you probably think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tune in next time when Guy gets us sued. I have to bounce because
we've been
the
30
risk
minutes
of using
in. Any final thoughts, final
word.
questions?
I got one final thought.
Okay.
We talked about the On the Map fiasco the other day, and we posted it, and I have received multiple contacts from people who worked for On the Map who were not paid. So this is the worst of private equity. And I do not want to paint all PE people with the same brush, but this is what happens.
It's not as bad as what happened in medicine.
You replace the leadership, and then you keep delivering products, you keep ordering services, and you don't pay your people. That sucks. And I don't know that that's exactly what happened, but that is I've received more than 2 examples of where that has happened.
Do you know why that happens, Conrad?
Because people are craven pieces of shit.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you another reason.
Theme song, man.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Lunch Hour Legal Marketing Office Hours. If you just landed here on this live stream, please check out Lunch Hour Legal Marketing on YouTube and all the other places that we are, and subscribe to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing podcast on your favorite podcast thingamabobber. Conrad, talk to you next week.
Out.